Hi guys, welcome to the SNOOZE.T channel about the UAPs, UFOs, bringing you news, stories, the background. My name is Alex, and behind me is some German military equipment. Okay, let's get into it. So, the stories of the UAPs, UFOs in Antiquity. I prepared 3 cases for you. In Antiquity, we can look at a lot of stuff which seems like the modern UAP, UFO reports. The first thing I looked into were so-called Livy's reports. Livy was an old Roman historian from the times of the Roman Republic, and he kept records, or he saved reports for us about the things which were extraordinary in the Roman Republic, and those are things like famines, those are things like earthquakes, anything which was extraordinary. And this was kept, and this was saved by the Roman Republic administration. So what's good about this is that the administration went out and they would speak to the witnesses, they would actually check their trustworthiness and see, what they're saying is actually truth or not. And we have loads and loads of reports, and if you look at those and you sift through them, you can find a load of them which actually looks like modern UAP UFO reports. The witnesses speak about the round metallic shields flying in the sky. They talk about offensive and defensive weapons flying in the sky. They talk about ships full of light, which they have seen in the sky. So this is really good source of information, and you can see it's really similar to what we see today. Okay, the second one I have for you, it took place in 74 BC. And this was at the time when Roman Republic was in military campaign against King Mithridates back in those times. And the Lucullus, general of the Roman army, was about to take battle with a guy called Marius, who came to help Mithridates. As the 2 armies were about to engage, something has happened, and I'll just read it out for you. So this is what he says. Lucullus led his army against Mithridates, having 30,000 foot soldiers and 2,500 horsemen. But when he had come within sight of the enemy and seen with amazement their multitude, he desired to refrain from battle and draw out the time. But Marius, whom Sertorius had sent to Mithridates from Spain with an army, came out to meet him and challenged him to combat. And so he put his forces in array to fight the issue out. Okay, just give me a second. This is another one. But presently, as they were on the point of joining battle, with no apparent change of weather, but on all of a sudden the sky burst asunder, and a huge flame-like body was seen to fall between the 2 armies. In shape, it was most like a wine jar, and in color, like molten silver. Both sides were astonished at the sight and separated. This marvel, as they say, occurred in Phrygia at a place called Otraia. So this has taken place in what is nowadays modern Turkey. And what's really special about this is that you had at least 30,000 soldiers. You had 2 guys who were the top-notch generals, and a historian from Greece, Plutarch, who was very famous, has written about this. So this is really interesting report, and you can see that it again sounds very similar to what we hear today. Lights, something which looked like a big ball of fire, molten silver. So that's the vocabulary these guys use. And the last case I have for you, that's from the Bible. Then I'll just read it for you. This is from book of Ezekiel. This has happened about 2,500 years. And Ezekiel, he was a priest. He was in Babylon. This is what he saw. I looked. I saw an immense dust storm come from the north, an immense cloud with lightning flashing from it, a huge ball of fire glowing like bronze. Within the fire were what looked like 4 creatures vibrant with life. Each had the form of a human being, but each also had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were sturdy and straight as columns. And he goes on. The wings were spread out with the tips, one pair touching the creature on either side. The other pair of wings covered its body. Each creature went straight ahead. Wherever the spirit went, they went. And he continues. The 4 creatures looked like a blazing fire, or like fiery torches. Tongues of fire shot back and forth between the creatures, and out of the fire, bolts of lightning. The creatures flashed back and forth like strikes of lightning. And he goes on. As I watched the 4 creatures, I saw something that looked like a wheel on the ground beside each of the 4-faced creatures. This is what the wheels looked like. They were identical wheels, sparkling like diamonds in the sun. It looked like they were wheels within wheels, like a gyroscope. The rims were immense, circling with eyes. Over the heads of the living creatures was something like a dome, shimmering like a sky full of cut glass, vaulted over their heads. And then as they stood with folded wings, there was a voice from the dome over their heads. Above the dome there was something that looked like a throne, sky blue like sapphire, with a human-like figure towering above the throne. From what I could see, from the waist up, he looked like burnished bronze, and from the waist down like a blazing fire. Brightness everywhere, the way a rainbow springs out of the sky on a rainy day. And this is a report from the Bible, and you listen to the language again, very, very similar to what we know today. Okay, this is all what I have for you today, guys. You will find the links and references in the description below. Click like, click subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you next time, and I will talk about the Foo Fighters. And no, that's not the band. This is it. Peace be with you, and I will see you next time. This is SNOOZE.T. Let's wake up.